you can count on us. This is First Alert Weather Now.
First Alert meteorologist Michael Amonco with you here. As we take a look at our alerts, we do have red flag warnings for our western and northwestern counties that will go into effect at noon and last until 9 p.m. This is from the National Weather Service. Reason why? Wherever the dry line approached the area from the west, and with the gusty winds that we are expecting today or already experiencing, and you combine the low relative humidity values and the fact that our northwestern counties they really haven't been seeing much in the way of precipitation compared to everywhere else in Texoma. You're going to have drier conditions, and that's going to lead up to a critical fire risk there. Right now, as we take a look at the Jackson County Memorial Hospital Tower cam there, the camera was working, but for some reason it's not working right now, but sometimes these things happen. Temperatures are generally in the upper 70s and already in the mid to upper 80s in our western counties, and a lot of that has to do with the drier air out there. As we take a look at relative humidity values, again, dropping into the 30 to 40% range across our western counties, which the drier air heats up quicker, but it also cools faster. Slightly normal or more moisture across our eastern counties at this time. It is windy out there. Winds are generally out of the south, anywhere between 10 to 20, even 25 miles per hour sustained. And we're seeing wind gusts up to around 21 miles per hour in Cornwall, a 30 mile per hour wind gust in Vernon at this time, and 28 mile per hour wind gust in Childress. So we do have a lot of moisture making its way to the north thanks to the warm front that was stationary yesterday near the Red River. So that's helped things warm up. A lot of what we're seeing there with the radar returns, a lot of it's not reaching the ground. Why? The air at the surface is not as moist as it was yesterday, so it's not as muggy. We do have a cold front that's coming in from the north and west that will stall out near the Oklahoma Panhandle. It will remain there and then eventually to the north tomorrow. We have a dry line that's going to approach the area this afternoon and evening. That's going to spark isolated activity. And this is all thanks to an upper level wave that is currently moving across the area, helping to create some of that lift. Areas just to the north, if you look, you have a more of a zonal pattern there. That will actually deepen into much more of a U-shape, or what we call a trough pattern, as you go into next week. And that's going to kick up our storm chances now. Looking at today, we do have a marginal risk for most of Texoma. The main threat to be large hail and damaging winds for some of those isolated to widely scattered storms that do form today and try to make their way to the east. A marginal risk for our western and northwestern counties as we go into your Saturday. We introduce a slight risk of some severe weather in the far northern counties. Marginal risk for areas along and to the north of the Red River. As we go into your Monday, that Monday is the big day to watch out for, as it looks like we'll have a more of a classic setup to have more widely scattered severe storms. The worst of it will be in the Central Plains into Kansas, northern Oklahoma, going into even Nebraska. But we're on the southern tail of this setup, so again, we're going to have to watch and see how this plays out. Looking into your Tuesday, that slight risk shifts well towards the north and east of us, just clipping portions of Grady County. Again, we have several days to keep an eye and fine-tune the forecast. Gusty winds today up to 35 to 40 miles per hour with sustained winds between 10 to 25 today out of the south. And pretty much a repeat as we go into your Saturday afternoon and evening. So with that dry line approaching from the west with the low relative humidity values, with those gusty winds, level for 3 out of 5 or a critical fire risk for our western and northwestern counties. So as you look at future track, again, about a 20 to 30% chance of some scattered activity going into the evening hours, with a marginal risk of some severe weather going into your Saturday morning, partly cloudy to maybe even some mostly clear skies, and then about a 20% chance of activity as you go into your Saturday afternoon and evening. Not really expecting much in the morning hours. And again, this is the European model that I'm showing here. This is the long-term model, doesn't have high resolution. We got several days to kind of keep an eye and see if the weather pattern shapes up. But we're going to keep it at 30% chance for now. We'll see if we get closer, we will raise or lower those rain chances. But keeping an eye on the possibility of severe weather on your Monday. Tuesday, that shifts more mainly towards the north and east, but we could still get additional rain chances going into next week, so that's something we'll continue to track. 97 degrees for your high today with breezy southerly winds here in Lawton. Tonight, here in Lawton, low of around 71 degrees with scattered activity possible, widely scattered activity possible. I want to emphasize that. 93 degrees tomorrow with partly cloudy skies, and we'll hold off on the 20% chance of storms until we get to the late afternoon and evening hours. Still going to be pretty breezy with those south and southeast winds. Highs today going to be ranging from the mid to upper 90s to a few areas in our western counties hitting the triple digits. Going into tonight, I should say, expect temperatures in the upper 60s and lower 70s across the area. And as we go into tomorrow, we can expect temperatures to be a tad bit cooler. Low, mid, and upper 90s in a few areas hitting the triple digits. And as we look at that 7-day forecast, 93 on your Saturday, 92 on your Sunday. Bumping up rain chances to 30% chance as we go into your Monday. We get a cold front coming in. That's going to bring us to near average temperatures on your Tuesday, right around the average, or just slightly below average on your Wednesday and your Thursday. I'm just going to call it near average. Some models take it a couple of degrees warmer than some. So our normal high is 82 degrees for Lawton, so well above average temperatures heading to this weekend. But we got some relief on the way, at least right now, the way the models are indicating that we'll have near average temperatures as we go into the middle of next week with isolated storm chances. So that is a look at your forecast, and I hope you have a wonderful day.